Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and the Card. Nice to see you today. It's October 25th. Can't believe it's the end of the month already. And I left my coffee mug downstairs. Wanted to show you my special Mickey. I like my Sorcerer Mickey mugs for uh, October because it's kind of Halloween, and I love the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Used to teach that at school all the time. The magic, and the kids just loved how the music itself, without words, just told all the story. So that was always my favorite thing to do. And when I run a Halloween parade around here in the once a year around our circle, and I dress up as Sorcerer Mickey. So it's fun. Hey, good morning, Kay. Good morning, Shirley. Nice to see you today. Thanks for hopping on. If you are watching, just leave me a little comment. Say hello, good morning. If you'd like to say where you're from, that's always fun to see also where people are joining in from. And if you're watching on YouTube, just know that I cannot respond, or I can't see your comments after I stop the live. Okay, so your live comments I can't see after we're done here. I can see comments that people type when they see the YouTube replay. If you send me a message, I will reply to that. But just so you know, if you're watching our Facebook, the comments stay up and I could go back and see them later. So if I don't answer your question, please keep that in mind. All right. Good morning, Texas Hill Country. Wow. All right. Nice, Leanne. Nice to see you today. Good morning, Joanne. Joanne's here in Maryland with me. So nice to see you all. So if you were watching Wednesday or you saw the replay, you saw that I showed you a lot of fall card ideas. Okay, so from my stash, I go back and I see, all right, what have I done for fall? And came up with a whole stack full of cards. I'm not going to show them all to you today, but I also said that if you were on my mailing list, that you would get tutorials for 3 of those cards. So I sent those out. If you were on my mailing list, you got those cards the other day. So today I will send out the measurements and simple instructions for the card I'm going to do today. So make sure you're on my mailing list and I can get that to you later. Okay, you already have some of the measurements in the description for the coffee and a card that I gave out yesterday. But you can, I'll give you a little bit more printable version of that in my mailing list. All right. So you can get my mailing list from my blog, which is stampwithlorraine.com. Let me put that up on the screen. Nope, I'm sorry. That's my, there we go. Okay, just stampwithlorraine.com. If you want to email me, it's Lorraine at stampwithlorraine.com. Okay, easy. Just use my name, get stamp in there, and you'll be good. All right, good morning. I see where people are hopping on. Nice to see that. All right, some of you on the moving west are probably having an early morning who's still in their PJs. All right, you're not on camera, so you get to show up in your PJs. Good morning, Roberta. Nice to see you on. Hi, Patty. Lydia, good morning. Patty and Lydia, Daisy team. If you want to be part of my team, the Daisy Bunch, and be a demonstrator and get a great discount, you only have a few more days. Okay, you have less than a week. Okay, next Thursday is the last day to sign up. $99, you get $155 worth of product. Okay, so that's a great deal. We have fun in our team, a great bunch of women, and we just the community that Stampin' Up! Has is just incredible. I've talked about that before. Hi, Joan. Hi, Susan. Good morning. Sunny Florida, Washington State. See, all reaches of the country. It's great. We even get people from out of the country sometimes, too. All right. Yeah, so we have a fun card today. I'm going to show you one version, and then I might show you a second one, but then you can also prompt me, give me some ideas as to which designer paper I should use and which colors. I'm going to let you help me decide. All right. I'm going to be at your whim. You can decide, help, be a team here. We'll work it out and we'll make something fun together. All right. So the one we're doing today is called the crossover gatefold. Okay. Oh, I hear my garage door opening. My husband's going to the grocery store for me. It's all good. It's all good. It's a good thing. All right. So let me grab my stuff here and turn my camera and add that. There we go. And bring the desktop down. All right. All right. So these are the cards I showed you on Wednesday. If you weren't on live, then you can certainly catch the replay. It's all good. But these are the cards that I showed that are called a crossover gatefold card. It looks complicated. It's really so simple. And once you get the concept, you'll be making these a lot. All right, so these are all retired designer series papers and sentiments and whatever from a couple of years back. But this was really beautiful paper with a blackberry bliss and some gold foiling in there. And so I added a lot more bling with additional gold foiling for the backgrounds. And this is what a crossover gatefold is. One panel opens up one way, the other opens up the other way, like they're crisscrossing. Okay, so we're going to take a long sheet of, good morning, Sandra, long sheet of cardstock. We're going to score it so it's a gatefold this way. And then simply we're going to put this panel on one side, one flap at the top, and the other one on the other side on the bottom. Simple concept, right? And then we're going to just add a little bit of a stamped or punched or die cut element and a saying, and you're done. It's all good. This one, the paper itself was the focal point, so I didn't feel it needed anything extra except just the sentiment in that kind of blank area up there. All right, and then of course you can bring something on the inside, a little strip of the DSP or another little piece of something die cut or stamped. What did I do on this one? Anything? All right, well, this one I added, oh yeah, there's a little leaf there. This one I added some DSP on the inside of those flaps. So you can leave them plain or you can add some DSP on the inside. So I gave you the measurements for that as an optional. So you can decide what you would like to do. You can always add that on later too. So it's not a big deal. Okay, are you ready? Let's see who is stamping along today. Leave a message in the comments if you are stamping along. And in keeping with what I did last year, I was saying I've been very attracted to the Blackberry Bliss this fall. It just is kind of my go-to this year for whatever reason. Certain colors sort of go in and out of fancy. So here we go. We have our half a sheet of cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 11. Just cut it down at the 4 1/4 size. So you have the long vertical way. And then we're going to score that at 2 3/4. I've already done that, of course. And you take your trimmer, you're going to score at 2 3/4, and then over at 8 1/4. All right. I love the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It is awesome. You've got your cutting and scoring blades. You've got an extra 1.5 inches on this side. So if you need to measure something small, it's easier to hold on to the long end and score and measure to the right of the channel, as opposed to if I had to measure something a half, and then try to close it and hold it over here. It gets a little cumbersome. So nice to have that option up to 1.5 inches that way. And of course, the swing arm that comes out goes up to 17 inches if you're doing a large project. I don't think I've ever, our paper goes to 12 at the most, right? But, there might be a need for you to go to 17. Who knows? You got it. If you need it, you got that. All right, so there we go. Now you need a piece of white for the inside. We'll add that later after we decide how I'm going to decorate it. So I'll just put that aside. Then you need 2 pieces. I chose foil. Again, I'm choosing the gold foil because I'm keeping this kind of blingy. Okay, fall bling. We'll call it fall bling. Okay, Lydia's stamping along. Great. You love the blackberry bliss too. Oh, yes, just gorgeous. Such a rich color. Rich, rich, rich. Okay, so our foil pieces are 5 1/4 by 2, and you need 2 of those because that's going to be our crossovers on the front. Okay, they're going to go right on top of that there like that, and they'll just open in different directions. Right, so 2 of those, 5 1/4 by 2. Then we need the designer paper that's going to go on top of that, and these are 5 by 1 3/4. So just a 1/4 inch less to give you that 1/8 inch all the way around. All right. So, by the way, Wednesday I was talking about glare on my glasses. I know I have a little bit because of the computer, but I did close my shades and there's a little bit of glare, but hopefully it's a little bit better. Anyway, focus on this anyway. Don't worry about my glasses. All right, so the paper I am using, the Regal Winter. This is talk about rich and gorgeous. It's just so pretty. The catalog, I don't think, does it justice. Once you get it in your hands and look at it, it is just so beautiful. Regal Winter. It's in the mini catalog. You can see I've used a lot of it already. I love this navy with the little blues and hints of purples in there. We have different flower patterns. These look, well, those are the same. Never mind. There are 2 that are very similar, but they are a little bit different. Okay, so you have some reds in there, and then the red tone, similar paper as what the blue is, just different colors. And then you even have some wild wheat and espresso. And then you have the purples. Just so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's one of those papers where you can use a large piece and that's your focal point. That's all you need. Or you can use little bits sparingly and still make a beautiful card because it's so striking. I just love it. Just love it. Let me get this back in my little pocket here. I get my pockets from Stampin' Storage. And by the way, I got a notice that for a couple days, Stampin' Storage is having 15% discount. So check that out. I'm going to take inventory, see if I need more pockets. I get my magnet cards from them. I get some of my storage things. I have 2 drawer cabinets that hold my dies and my embossing folders. I have 2 that are 2 side by side, so I have a total of 4 drawers. And I have some other little drawers. I have card holders that hold my cards in a rack, and I have the holders for the punches. My daughter has the ink pad holders and the markers holders and just great stuff. It's so well made and a very good company. All right, so those are going to go on there. Let's glue those down. You could use, if you're not using foil, you can just use another color that works with your designer paper. Or you can use the same color as your base, and that way it would look, more like it's floating just part of the card base when it really isn't. I'm just going to put that on there. All right. Oh, I missed my coffee. It's downstairs. Darn, darn, darn. All right. And then the other one. Just look at that with that gold foil. This is pretty too. Oh my gosh. Putting that with silver could look really pretty as well. I love the blues, boy. Okay, one thing with the foil, be very careful not to get smudges of glue on it, because even though the adhesive eraser is great for taking things off your paper, the foil is not quite as forgiving. Okay, it will leave little smudges. It won't rub off quite as well. So be very careful not to smudge. Oh my gosh, just look at that. Ooh, so pretty, so pretty. All right, now here comes the easy part here. I've already scored and burnished this. Now, if you want, and this is another thing that I recommend, let me just put this aside for a minute. If you want to make sure that these line up really well, then just score one side and fold over the other. And I'll show you why. I showed you this in one of the other cards. 2 3/4. I'm going to score that. Right, and then I'm going to fold that over and burnish it. Now, sometimes when you're measuring on your trimmer, sometimes you could be a slight hair off, and then things might not meet exactly here. Okay, even though the other measurement is at 8 1/4, or if you want to do 2 3/4 from the other side, that works too. But if you're slightly off, these inside pieces might leave a tiny gap. Sometimes, like when you're measuring up to the line, sometimes you go just before the line, sometimes you go right at the line, sometimes you're just over the edge of the line. So if you're worried about having any kind of gap at all on your gatefolds, this isn't going to matter quite so much because most of it will be covered, except that little piece in the middle. But here's what you do. Only score one side, then bring the other side and meet it up, and you know it's going to be perfect because you're lining it up perfectly right there. No gap and no overlap. No gap, no overlap. And then just take your bone folder and make your score. So absolutely perfect. All right, I'm going to put that aside. Maybe I'll use that one later. All right, so now we're going to glue one of these panels to the left side and the other one just to the right side. Now you want to use strong adhesive because this is going to get a lot of working. If people are going to say, oh, look how cool was that, and be opening and closing, you don't want it falling off because it's only adhered to one half side. Some of you might be asking, well, which side do I glue it to? The top one to the left and the bottom one to the right? That certainly can work. But you know what? It can work the other way too. So it doesn't really matter. Whatever you feel is good. I can glue this one down here and glue the top one to the right. It's all up to you, whatever you think looks or feels right to you. I think I tend to do the top one on the left, just because it reminds you of a book turning a page this way. But it really doesn't matter because you could be turning your book from the bottom of the page and opening it right to left. So it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you just make sure that you don't get glue on the other half that's going to stick to here. All right, so you're going to have a little bit of that border all the way around and between your panels here. So I am going to, I like to just hold my finger there See, right about here, I don't want to put glue past here. So, let me turn my hand around. Okay, that's the mark there. And what I'll do is I'm not going to get too close to that. But I do know it is going to go to the edge here. So I'll put just a little bit of glue in the middle there. And I know that's going to hold. All right, so I'm going to do this, and I could see I'm in good shape that my glue didn't go past where the opening's going to be. And before the glue dries completely, I'm going to make sure I have good spacing. Right, there we go, a little crooked. All right, that's good. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, here's my line. I could just even line it up like this. Make sure I'm not going to go past that. Very thin beads of glue. People get in trouble with the liquid glue because they just use too much or they go too close to the edge. Okay, I have a little wiggle room. Make sure I'm straight. Okay. Here we go. Ta-da. Nice little wow factor, but so easy, right? Okay, hi Joan. Hi Nadine. That's okay. No demerits for being late. It's okay. We're just happy you made it. Okay. Oh, hi Sandra. Nice to see you from Canada. Thank you. All right. And then let's put some decorate the front before I do the inside. I took let me here a second. As much space as I think I have, I end up having limited space because you just bring more stuff to the table. I used the bow punch. This is one of my favorites. I hope this just stays around forever because it reminded me of the little sprigs that are in here. It has that similar shape, and so I wanted to carry that over. This stamps, the stamp set that coordinates with this is, let me grab it here, is Regal Flora. And you can stamp these elements and die cut them out. And you do have a little standalone die cut piece here and a label, but I didn't think that was going to work for this area here. Okay, so there were no like standalone flowers or sprigs. So I said, okay, well, this is going to work perfectly because it reminds me of these in here. And even this little piece up here reminds me of this. Okay, so it kind of ties in what's here then too, right? So I punched out with gold. We're keeping blingy here. I punched out some of those elements and I'm going to put that over there. And I didn't want just one. It looks a little silly to me. So I wanted to make it look like a grouping. So I just took the top of one of the others. Okay, I actually just punched from a scrap. Okay, or you could take a whole one and cut it down, but I had some scrap left over from where I cut this out. So I did that. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a bouquet there, and it's going to cover that stem. I don't like having such a long stem just coming out of nowhere. So it's fine if you want to cover that up, or you can trim that down just a little bit too. I'm just going to make just a little clump of leaves there. Let's glue that down. Hey, Lydia, what paper are you using? Lydia said she's crafting along today. Which DSP are you using? And color cardstock. Okay, hi Kathy. Another from Alberta. Thanks for joining on. All right. Here we go. I think that looks pretty nice that way. Now, if you really wanted to add a little something else, you know, we're going to put a sentiment in a minute, but you could add some of your gold trim. So I just made a little bow, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Oop. I like to tie it while it's still on the spool here. Oops, that made a little knot. Let's get that out. So I can adjust how much I need. If the bow doesn't come out right, I say, oh, I need a little bit more. It's there. It's not like I've cut it and it's too short or I cut too much. All right. I call this the bunny ears. Let me do it against the darker color so you can see. You can tie your bows anywhere you like, but I like doing my little bunny ears. Now, one of the trick is you want to leave some extra in here because that's going to give you the space to bring the loop around. So just crisscross it and poke the loop in. And with that extra space in there, it gives you enough to grab it. Now pull it a little bit before the ends run out. Start giving it a little tug. And you want the bow smaller, pull it smaller, and then tighten it again. Remember, every time you tighten it, it's going to get a little bigger than the initial adjustment that you make. Okay, so I think that's a good size right there. So I will bring that around and we're going to put it right on there. So now I can cut my end without having too much waste. And therefore I also know I have enough. Okay, I don't want the ends to be too long because it is at the bottom of the card. And so I'm just going to put that there. It's going to be like those are being tied together. So I like the look of that. I'm glad you like the card, Patty. Right. Let's see, Winter Meadows, boho blue, and gold foil. Ooh, can't wait to see that. Okay, you might have seen I took a little glue dot. I rubbed it off and I balled it up a little bit so it's going to be small enough to be behind the knot of that bow. And here we go. We have that down there. All right, let's put our sentiment on. I'm going to save this, put this on my inside piece. I'll do that so I don't lose it right now. Ooh. Carry that bling to the inside. Here we go. Might as well put that in right now. Get that out of the way. Winter Meadows, I love that too. A lot of blues on that. And I used it a lot when it first came out. But I haven't been using it lately because other new things have come out. But I do love that one. In case some of you are wondering, it's this here. It has some blues and the sort of light purpley colors to them. Some gray and just so pretty. So pretty. Can't wait to see your card, Lydia. I know you'll share it. All right. While I have it open, I did cut some other paper to go on the inside. Look how pretty that is. Woo, love it. So let's put that in there. These pieces are 2.5 wide by 4 inches tall. Again, just make it a 1/4 inch smaller than that panel. You're in good shape. See, these are the blues, but it carries over those purples to match with the Blackberry Bliss. I could have put it on this side too. So that would have been nice. But I know, I kind of like that. It kind of brightens up the inside. There we go. Thank you, Joan. All right. Now all that's left is our sentiment. Now sometimes this doesn't necessarily say close while you're working on it. Take your clear block and just that'll help hold it down. Let me put my trim away. This comes in a pack with the silver and the gold. Great for the holidays, great for tags. I have several of these, use them up a lot. All right, so now this is what I did. For your sentiment, you could use any shape, or like if you had a circle, you can do a circle there, whatever fits. Double circle if you want. These are just my scraps, so I'm definitely not using these. Some kind of a label would work very nicely too, but I wanted something kind of long, and I did want to mat it with some gold foil to just in case it doesn't have enough bling. So what I did was I actually combined 2 die cut sets. Now, like I said, the Regal Flora has a bigger label to it, so that would not have worked on here. So keep that aside for another time. And I liked the size of this from Greetings of the Season. That size, did I get that stamp set out? No, not right now. So I like the size of that. So I die cut that with my white, and I was looking for something that looked, very pretty and a nice little font. I thought that looked wonderful, and that could look fine just with the white on there. It really can. I said, all right, everything else has gold, so let's do something with gold. So I wanted to mat that. Looked around, and I actually found in the Changing Leaves hybrid folder and dies is this stitched oval here, which happens to work out very nicely with that tag inside. Gives it a very nice border. And that's going to look lovely on there just to pop it up even more. All right, so now you say, what? It's the wrong size. It's too wide. Well, if you remember, I've showed some people this before. You can cut down these labels to make them a little smaller. And I'm going to grab my mini machine here. Move this out of the way. And, okay, first I'll do this one. I'm going to take that die and just think of kind of cutting off the end now. I don't want to do it with scissors because it will never look as perfect as my die is going to do. So basically all you need, I better get in the camera here, shouldn't I? Basically all you want to do is lay the end of your die across where you want it to cut. All right. So decide where that should be. And because there's a little lip here, a little raised part that, let's call it a blade of the die will fit right in there. And then you can run it through your machine. So let me get my cutting plates. and a little washi tape. I always keep my spare washi here because it's good for a few go rounds. Okay, and let me do this on here. It's more secure. All right, so I can feel that little groove there. I can feel it more if it's up here right now. All right, there it is. Move over just a little bit. I'm going to put my washi, and I'm going to put that down there. Right now, because this is so thin, I could do the other one at the same time and still run it through even my mini machine. If I knew how far I wanted to go, I could. So never mind. I'm not going to do that. Scratch that. I'm just going to do one at a time because I want to make sure I have the right spacing on that. All right, so here we go. Just running it through. Ta-da. And you can see it just cut that piece right off the edge. Don't need that. When you take your washi off, do it very carefully. Okay, very often, I know washi is low tack, but sometimes I'll just even make it even more low tack, especially if it's been used a couple times, it's very low tack. See, now I have a label, the perfect size. Now I could measure that against here and see how far I want that to go. And you know what I might do? I've told you before that the liquid glue is both permanent and temporary glue. I'm going to just take a little dot, a little smear of glue on there, spread it around a little bit, let it dry. And then that's going to be temporary. So I can put this on here. I could do it permanently, but what if I make a mistake? Then I'll have to do the whole stamping part over again. Okay, now I'm going to just cut off a similar amount on that side, especially if you have stitching on here. It's a lot easier to just get in the groove of those stitches. See, I'm trying to move it back and forth, and it's not going because it's locked into that stitching. I will put this down. Boom. Ta-da. And just for safekeeping, I'm going to take this part off. I don't know, just in case. I don't want anything to happen to it. It came out so well. Don't you love when you get your sentiments straight? Now, the two ways you can do your sentiments, you can do your die cut first and then stamp on it, or you can stamp on plain paper and then arrange your die over it. And I know people who like to do it both ways. If you're not good at stamping straight, or if it's not photopolymer, it might be hard to get it straight after you cut the die. But if you stamp it on your paper first, put your die over it, tack it down with washi or Post-it note or painter's tape, then you're pretty much assured, unless it shifts in your machine, that it's going to be straight. Okay, I'll leave that there for another time. And now put these back where they belong. Don't mix them up, or else you'll be driving yourself crazy. Which one goes to which? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my. Okay, my other die got caught and just went flying someplace. Gotta look for that later. That was funny. Woo. Well, that'll be interesting. It just went ploop. We'll see. I'll find it in the bin or on the floor someplace. Might have to move some furniture for that one. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. What I love about these machines, they fold up nice and compactly. Oh, guess what's at my feet? That die. There it is. Whew. Thank goodness. I thought it went flying over there. Okay, careful. Careful, Lorraine. Here we go. Hello, Michelle. That's okay. It's still a party. Especially now that you're here. All right, now we can glue this on. You can glue this right onto the card, or you can put it on with dimensionals. I will pop this up with dimensionals since my bow punch elements are glued straight down. We'll have something popping up in the front. Isn't that pretty? You know, really nice. I love it. Love it, love it. I'm going to hold that down. This one will call for minis, mini dimensionals. Nice to have the option. Or you can use your edges, right? Cut those. Don't throw them away. They're very useful. Okay. And there we go. Put that on the top left. My elements, other elements are on the bottom right, so it kind of balances. And voila, we have a beautiful card. Really, really pretty. And it can open like that, and more prettiness inside. Okay, do you like that? Easy, right? Okay, now it doesn't have to be, such an elegant looking card or a rich looking card. You can do this with anything. Do it with the Lily Pond Lane. Do it with the bold and bright colors. Whatever. It can look so sweet, and I will do up others. I love to show you guys that I don't want you to be locked into, oh, this has to be a rich floral design. It doesn't have to be. It could be a masculine looking card. Let me show you some other. I showed you. Oh, here they are. Okay, these are the ones I showed in the beginning. Okay, people who came a little late. These are the ones I've done in years past. Okay, they are rich and elegant. All right. But you can also do this card in a vertical orientation like this. And so you would just make your gatefold. You would do your scoring here, and then you would just crisscross your other panels. See, here's this. I did this one so the top opens from left to right. So that's the opposite way of this one, and it works. It's all good. All right. So this could be, with these patterns, it could be more masculine card, right? Or doesn't have to even be blingy. This is a little bit more of a coppery foil that we used to have. And then here's another one using a little bit different DSP. I loved these leaves and this this oxidized copper paper is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It comes in the kind of the peacock and the gold coppery colors. Love it. And we still have that. So that's good. So it could be done in this orientation also. So here's a bonus. If you're on my mailing list, I will give you the measurements for this one in a printable way. And then I'll also show you the measurements for the vertical orientation. So if you're not on my mailing list, go to my blog, stampwithlorraine.com. Click send me my free tutorial, because you will get a free tutorial just for signing up on my blog. So that's always a fun thing too. And that's for a nice fun fold. Okay. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you where this sentiment came from. You're never going to believe it. I was looking for something pretty to go on here that's small and that would fit on there. And I found it from a more masculine set, Adventurous Sky. How about that? Down here, happy birthday. Love that font. Very curly and swirly, and it works for a more feminine card as well. I just think that is so sweet. No, not too overly swirly, but it does look very pretty. So look around. You never know what you'll find that you can mix and match. All right, so we have a few more minutes. I would like to ask some people for some advice. Now, I will do a card. Thank you, Kathy. Okay. November online exclusives are so cool. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so November is starting some new online exclusives. And as a demonstrator, we get to see those things a month ahead. So there's some new kits, there's some new exclusive things coming, and customers will get to see those in another week, okay, or so. Okay, I don't remember the exact date, but it's the first week of November. So fun things there. If you want to see the stuff early, you get to even include that in your starter kit if you join in October. So, all right. So the join offer, $99 for $155 worth of stuff. And you also, what I didn't mention the other day, you don't have to meet your minimum until the first full quarter. So we're in the October, November, December quarter right now. If you join now, get your minimum of sales, either your own personal sales or customers or combined. Your sales, you need to have $300 in sales for the quarter, but that transfers, if it's just what you're spending, that transfers to $260. $240 because you're getting a 20% discount. Okay, so $300 in retail sales. After your discount, it's $240. So that's rounds off to $80 a month. But also, you don't have to do that until your first full quarter. So that means January, February, March. The end of March is when you would have to make your first $300 in sales. So that's a great deal, joining early in this quarter. So keep that in mind and contact me if you're interested in finding out some more information on that. Thank you, Karen, for reminding me about that. Okay, I would like to do another crossover gatefold. I'll do something really, really quickly. Somebody pop up on there a suggestion for another DSP or another color. If you'd like me to say, let's start with the DSP because then I can coordinate the colors accordingly. And if I have the paper, I will try to do that. So somebody give me a suggestion. Maybe a holiday one, a fall one, country woods, little latte, flowering zinnias, graceful greenery, frames and flowers, reindeer days, lavender, nests of winter. Just give me something that you think you like to see me do right now. Then we'll pick a colored cardstock and put it all together real quick. All right. Suggestions. Okay, I'm getting a little warm here. I'm going to take my jacket off. I love this jacket. This was a Stampin' Up! Jacket I ordered when I went to convention in Orlando 6 years ago. And okay, Kara's got Nests of Winter. All right. And I wear it all the time. Wear that jacket all the time. Absolutely. Okay, Nests of Winter. Let's see which. Okay, Susan says that too. All right, we got that. All right, let's see which pattern we want to use and which color base we want to use. Let's do something different this time. Okay, we don't want anything with too big of a print. So this might be a little too big, but we can go with the smaller birds. Right, we can go with these. This could be pretty, right? Because it would be 2 inches. I'd make sure I'd cut it in a way. Actually, it'd be 1 3/4. Make sure I'd cut it in a way to get some full birds and not all chopped off. Don't want chopped up birds. Now let's see if there's a different one. Okay, this has the birch on there, which is pretty. That could be nice for the inside. If I did 1 3/4, I might not get too much of the birds on there, so I might not want that for the front. Let's look at the backs. Okay, well, this would look pretty on the inside of that too, wouldn't it? Okay, we've got a lot of votes for this. Well, we already got that. So let's see now which pattern we want to use. All right, I have a lot of certain ones left over because I used the others. All right. Oh, we could use this too. That might be not enough birds on there. All right. So you all agree this one would be a good idea? Let's try that. And then I'll use this for the inside for some nice contrast. All right. Now, what color base should we use? We could do beige. We could do pecan. I could pull in the oranges here, or I could do the reds. Somebody give me an idea of which color you'd like to see me try. Something in the reds, browns, beige, or greens, or the orange tones, you know, like a peach pie, or I don't know if pumpkin pie would be too bright or not. Okay, going with Karen says orange, reds, pecans. Oh, good, we got everything going here. All right, any other thoughts? Put some votes out there. This is what I do on the back of my 12 by 12s. The colors are listed here, but so tiny and kind of in sentence form with a little dot in between each one. I can't see that quickly. And, you know, it's just so much easier for me to see lists. I'm a list maker and I want it bright and big so I can see more quickly at a glance what colors are in there. All right, so I'm going to pull out, let's see. Yeah, Michelle, it's a good idea. All right, so I'll pull out, let's see, they have crumb cake. I see some grays in here. Gray granite. Okay, there we go. Gray granite, crumb cake, cherry cobbler, and what are the oranges that are in here? Bring up a pumpkin pie, they call it. All right, so let's pull out a sheet of each of those and see what it looks like. All right, it's hard to know without actually having it right in front of your face. That's how I feel. Okay, let me grab, okay, cherry cobbler or real red. I'm often more the cherry cobbler type, but real red does look nice too. All right, let's take that. So here's how you think it all out, guys. Here's the process. Keep a red there. And I know that's blues. All right, that's black. Okay. Let me go in my closet and get the other colors. I'm going to pull out cherry cobbler, pumpkin pie, and gray granite. Okay, because that's sort of the brownish gray that's in there. Cherry cobbler. Okay, there's a cherry cobbler. Gray granite. Is there. And pumpkin pie. Okay, let's take a look. That really brings the oranges out, doesn't it? Yeah, I like them all. This is going to be hard to decide. Here's the gray granite. That looks soft and sophisticated. And then here is the cherry cobbler. I had some cherry cobbler open already. Oh, it's over there. Hold on. Hate to open a new pack if I got one going already. Okay, the cherry cobbler. Very rich. And then here's a red. Okay, on my monitor, it looks more orangey, but I think it actually goes with those berries better than the cherry cobbler. The cherry cobbler looks a little dull to me. All right, I'm going to take the cherry cobbler out for now. That'll be my one to take out. All right, now what do you all think here? Hi, Debbie. All right, a lot of people are saying pumpkin pie now. Hello. Hey, Chrissy. I know it says Harry. That's your husband. Nice to see you. I've been meaning to call you, my friend. Oh my gosh, we have to catch up. Okay, hope you're doing well. All right, you know what? I'm seeing a lot of votes for the pumpkin pie, so I'm going to do that because it's different. Okay, it's different. Now, Christmas, we always think red and green. And this looks lovely, but I'll take that up. My favorites are either the real red or the pumpkin pie, but let's do the pumpkin pie just to be different. A non-traditional Christmas color, let's say. All right, thank you for all of your suggestions. Now let's do our cutting. Boy, I have a lot of cleanup to do today. I start throwing things all over the place. It's okay. It's okay. It's what I love. So 4 1/4. Then we score at 2 3/4. Make sure to move your blade out of the way. And then you can also score at 8 1/4 if you like, or you can make sure you get it real straight by doing it this way. Meeting it up nice and flush. And then there we go. All right, for the background of this, should we do some greens or should we keep it with the gold foil? Keep it blingy. What do we think? Gold foil. Like that. Or here's some garden green, but I think that was shaded spruce that was in there. Let's see. I like the shaded spruce with the DSP. I'm not sure I'm going to like it against the orange, though. What do you think? Too much fall-like? Or we can use the granite. See, I'm visual. I have to see it. Okay, granite looks kind of nice. Or we can just stick with the orange. And then the DSP will just show up. What do you think? I see some gold and I see not bad with the green. I see the granite. I love hearing your opinions, guys. Let's try the granite again. Okay, and you said not bad with the green. Okay, there's the granite. And let's see the green, and then we'll look at the gold again. I love this with the green. And I guess it doesn't look bad that way. I'm just, when I look at that though, I think, I don't know, the orange and the green together, for me, detracts from the birds. I know, it just seems like too many different kind of colors. I'm not sure. I like them both this way. I like it this way, and I like it this way, but I'm not sure I like them together. Let's look at the gold. I do have silver foil as well, but I think gold goes better with orange than silver. All right, there we have gold. Hmm. Boy, I'm having a lot of you like the green, huh? Wow. All right. Any more votes? Any other votes? No, reverse and having the green for the card check, orange for the outline. Let's see what that looks like. Aha. That could be better. I'm not sure why, but I might like that. That's a good suggestion, Shirley. Okay, gold and green. Wow. Okay, I love all your suggestions. Now the only problem is I have to think what I like. That is nicer that way than the green here with the orange behind it. Oh. Pecan. Yeah, because pecan is in there. All right, let's pull one more out. Pecan pie. We have that here. Yep. Gotta go in the closet for that one. Yeah, okay. 1 second, Michelle. Let me do that. I was thinking that too, because that's here, right? And you know what's strange, unless I missed it. Yeah, they don't list. There's clearly a lot of brown on here, but they don't list that on there unless they're calling that copper clay, which doesn't look too red to me. So I don't know. All right, but here's our last thing. Good thing this card goes together quickly. All right. That looks nice. And with the orange in the background, or we can reverse that and do the orange there and the pecan pie in the card base. All right, what does everybody like? You like that, Shirley? Okay, do we like it this way? Or do we like the brown or the pecan with the orange base? What do we like? Any votes on that? There's the green on the pecan. That could be pretty too. Okay. Yeah, I'm making it hard. I know. See, this is where I get too crazy. I get too crazy. So then you just have to make one of each, right? All right, let's decide. We decided on an orange base. Let's stick with that. It's already cut and scored. So we can do, let's narrow it down to either pecan or the gold. Okay, take your vote. Pecan or gold. Okay, there's the pecan. I'll bring it closer. Pecan or going with the gold. What do we like? Take a quick vote. Okay. Eva's pretty. Thanks, Michelle. I know. Okay, any of the votes? Orange and pecan works. All right. All right, you know what? I'm going to make my decision based on all the others have gold. I'll do one without gold. Okay? Shirley says pecan, Roberta like gold. I kind of like the golds also, but you know what? Let's just make the decision this way. I'll do the pecan just so I have an example that uses cardstock instead of foil. Okay? All right, you've ordered gold. I know. Little bits at a time. You don't get many in a pack. So, but luckily you don't need it. You don't need a full sheet of gold on your card. So it's okay. All right, let's do our cutting real quick here. 5 1/4 by 4. Well, okay, I said 4. what I like to do is I'll cut my 4, and I cut that in half by 2. 5 1/4 by 2. Here we go. Then the cardstock. I'm going to try to be strategic how I cut this. I need it 1 3/4. So if I cut it here, I'm going to get some of those nice birds. I'll get this guy, this guy, this guy, and these guys here. So that's good. Okay, remember horizontal orientation. And then I want that by 5 inches wide. So if I do this, you see those guys, that's pretty good. This guy's a little cut off there anyway, so I'm not going to worry about him. All right, there's one. And then, ooh, this one will get a nice amount. I'm going to get this, keep this guy here. And then I can cut over here and keep this guy. So you might want to, I'm just going to trim off a little on the end there. So there's, turn it around, make that 5. That's a little bit more centered. And because we have 2 bigger birds there, I'm going to put this one up on the top and then this one down on the bottom. Okay, ooh, but that, you know what? I'm just noticing I don't like this. I'm going to cut something else because these are the same exact birds. I want something different. So let's cut somebody else here. Let's do a little something different. Actually, there aren't too many choices because the same ones continue in every row. I could try to get this one here and go across more this way. All right, I'm going to try to do that. Okay, 1 3/4. I don't want the top and the bottom looking exactly the same. If you want it, I suppose you can like turn it around. You don't have to have the same paper on the top and the bottom. All right, so that's there. I'm thinking too much on this, aren't I? That's the same as that. I don't like those 2 together though. If I do it more this way, then that might be okay. All right, I'm going to cut this. See what I go through? This is the process. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you make cards, you know." Well, this is the behind the scenes. You think about it and you think about it, and then once you have it, just go with it. You can make a lot more. It's so much easier once you have your plan, right? Okay. There we go. I'll use those. Maybe I'll switch those so those guys aren't so close together. Otherwise, it looks like they've just been chopped. All right, that one's going to be the top now. Change my mind. Once you put it together, you get an idea of what it's going to look like once you experiment. Okay, and then here. And we're going a little over today, but this is fun. This is fun. Okay, next step to stamping in person together, right? Get to toss ideas off of each other. All right, that one's going up there, that one's going over there, and this one I'll just do going the opposite way. So I'm going to just lay it up here. I liked that idea that I did before. I can see the split to my card is here, so I know not to go past there with my glue. And I'm not even going to get too close, just in case it spreads a little bit. Yeah, I like how that orange is picked up from the bird. Okay, then this one down here. I'll just put this on the edge here so you can see. And I could see better how far to go with my glue. See, I'm sure whichever colors we use, it was going to look pretty, right? So just try not to angst over it too much like I do. It's okay. It's okay. Look how pretty that is. Lovely. Reminds me of My Fair Lady. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Okay, 2.5 by 4. Get those inside. I do like having something on the inside. You can put the same thing on the inside if you want. Put those birds inside too. Okie dokie. And then your piece of white for in there. This one's a little big. Have to put it down. 5.25 by 4. Like that there. Okay, I'm not going to glue it down because I think I'm going to stamp something on there. But there you go. We got the idea. We'll put sentiment on there. I have that stamp set. I had it right here someplace. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, it's here. Here we go. So you don't have to use something from the same stamp set, obviously, but I would probably do something small, not to cover up too many of the birds. So maybe the thinking of you always, I could put over here. And I might just leave the paper pretty, not add a die cut. Okay, put something more on the inside. You can always put some things over here because this is a little bit more plain. So maybe I would, cut out some sprigs, or maybe one of the other birds, stamp it. I could put it over here and then save room for my sentiment. So, all right, so there we go. I will finish this up and do something fun with it, but you can see how quickly it goes once you pick out your products, right? Okay, so, oh, hi, Barb. Nice to see you. Let me see what we're making fun. Okay, add a touch of gold behind the sentiment. Yep. Yes, I like that idea. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So if I had a little sentiment there, put a little touch of gold, and I could put maybe a couple little gold embellishments to carry that gold across more than just the one spot. I like that idea. Thanks, Michelle. I'll do that. And thank you, Shirley. And thank you, everybody, for your suggestions. It does look very pretty, doesn't it? Yep. And even bringing a little gold on the inside too, probably. All right. Well, it's been nice stamping together. Hi, Lee. Hey, thank you for chiming in there. I appreciate that. And I hope you'd make some of your own crossover gatefolds. Like I said, if you want a full measurement, I will sign up to my email, and I will get those out to you through there. All right, including the vertical measurements to do the card vertically. All right, so you don't have to open it this way. It would actually open that way. Here's the one I showed before. Okay, opening like this. All right. So, don't forget that joint offer, also 30% off all kits on the online exclusives. And that just goes until Halloween, until the 31st. So take advantage of that, guys. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. And stay tuned also, because once in a while I will pop on like I did last Wednesday. So you never know when I'm going to add an extra little something live there. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining in. See you next time. Bye-bye.